In your mind, the Buddha taught that either there are good in your mind, or there is no good in your mind. Or there could be evil in your mind, or there is no evil in your mind. And what is the effort to do? Well, if there is no good in your mind, try to develop goodness, then is effort. Okay? And if there is already good, then make it bigger, great. And if there's evil, exert yourself to get rid of the evil. Like what? Hatred, anger, greed, and so on, right? Delusions. And if there is no evil, then try not to develop any evil. That was the meaning of right effort. And the number 7 is right mindfulness. Number 8 is right concentration or meditation. These eightfold noble path is summarized into threefold practice of precepts, wisdom, concentration, and wisdom. These three. Eightfold noble path is summarized into these three. And this threefold practice, Shila, the precept, concentration, one mind, and wisdom are the central practice of Buddhism. No matter what sect or school of Buddhism you go, these are the three fundamental principles of practice. And as a Buddhist, if you don't develop these three precepts, the precept, the Shila, and you don't have the concentrate one mind, and if you don't have the wisdom, you are not a Buddhist. No practice. In WonBuddhism, as we'll be reading again, first 3 of the 9 articles of daily practice comes like this. Our mind ground. The mind ground is one of the terms. Sometimes it stands for Dharmakaya. You see? Also it stands for perfectly enlightened, marvelous mind. There are about 14 different names which all refer to one and the same thing, which is the original nature, Buddha nature. Okay? So my mind ground is free from disturbances and free from delusions, and free from errors. However, in accordance with the adverse conditions, these 3 unwholesome state of the mind arise. They are disturbances. What is the example of disturbance? Anger. Somebody makes you angry, then you get angry, right? Then that is what? Disturbance. If your mind is disturbed, then there's no guarantee what you're going to say and do will turn out to be right. It is the cause of all the troubles. Therefore, you should do all you can to keep your mind undisturbed. Even if somebody, insults you or unfair to you, you have to keep this undisturbed mind. Once it is started, like a disturbance, it's like a fire started already. And started burning someone's clothes, no matter how small it is. So one Buddhist goal is not to let the anger arise in the first place. Why? If has already your mind is disturbed and trying to let it go, it's too late. In the first place, it's too late. Why? Already you create evil karma. Therefore, one Buddhist goal is, in the first place, do not let those, disturbance arise. Very important point. Second, our Buddha nature, original nature, mind ground is free from delusions, stupidity, foolishness. However, in adverse conditions, trying situations, this foolishness arises. Once it has arisen, then you make mistakes, make wrong judgment and say things because of the foolishness. Therefore, our goal is, in the first place, not to let this foolishness delusions arise. Because once it has arisen, in the first place, it's too late. Second, unless you are enlightened to your marvelous mind or the one God notion, you have no power to get rid of the delusions, foolishness, and so on. Why? Look at the people. When they are foolish and wrong, they think they are right and do a lot of things, creating all kinds of bad karma. That's why it's utmost importance. Keep your mind, the perfectly enlightened, marvelous mind, free from all those disturbances and delusions and errors. And this is the alpha and omega of the whole Buddhist practice, and also one Buddhist practice too. Prajna wisdom is none other than, in this case, the mind ground, which is free from delusions, disturbances, and errors. Okay? So, and in WonBuddhism, Master Chung said, if you really understand and follow and practice 9 essentials of daily practice, that will be sufficient for you to become and attain Buddhahood in this very life. And the third, of course, is the our mind ground is free from errors, wrong, evil. However, in adverse conditions, it becomes evil. Start hating somebody, doing something wrong, and so on. And thereby you create evil karma. And once it's created, you have to pay for that. Too late. So if you try to, once the error has arisen in your mind ground, already something wrong done, and try to get rid of it, or try to let it go, you cannot do it. It's too late in the first place. Why? You already made a mistake. Sometimes big one. How big? You get into war with a third country if you're stupid. And error has arisen in your mind. And thousands of people die if the leader of a country suffers from these 3 poisons. So what WonBuddhism is trying to do is, we are bringing the heart of the Buddha's teaching from mountain valleys, where the only monks practice. We'll bring it to the urban area, rural area, where hustling, bustling human life is difficult. There, we need more than anywhere else. We need the Buddha's teaching and WonBuddhism teaching. Got it? So, now, the practice of Virongsang we saw, the actual path and method is spelled out in the first 1 to 3 of daily practice. How do we do that? Well, tell ourselves in the morning, not when you face with the difficult situations. Then in the morning, okay, what kind of life I'm going to live today? Am I going to be enslaved to the unwholesome, disturbances and delusions and errors? Or am I going to keep myself from all the hellish world? And the only way you can do is develop the 3 great powers of this prajna, wisdom, and the shila, the precepts, doing only what is right, and the samadhi, concentration. These are the 3 aspects of your Buddha mind, or perfectly enlightened, marvelous mind. If you simply say, hey, what is the perfectly enlightened mind? Ongang Myoshin, the actual place is where your mind acts in 3 terms. Have you attained the power of samadhi, concentration? No matter how the external world is disturbing you, you are not moved at all, like a huge mountain against those winds. Mountain doesn't move when hurricane comes. You have to develop your personality as that